Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. So today we're jumping straight into XRP. Excuse my throat. Had some shisha last night, so bit of a heavy chest this morning. Silly boy. But anyway, getting into it. Let's look at what's going on. Yesterday, positive day for XRP. I think we closed the day about 7% up. That's like, if I'm going to guess, I haven't checked exactly how much, but let's say we closed 6.7% up. Positives and negatives of the price action. Let's get into it. Obviously, it's nice to see 7% up, back at 247. Nice. Positives and negatives. We didn't quite manage to get the close above this like 252, which is the area that I would like to see us close above. It's like our the recent high before the latest downturn. Excuse me. So I'd like to see us get back above that and then looking up towards the 264 level. Now, there's more interesting levels that I'd like to discuss on Bitcoin, XRP against ETH and XRP against Bitcoin. Let's start with XRP ETH. Now, you'll know, guys, if you've been following this channel, I've been talking about it wasn't actually this level exactly. It was this 2.007071 level, this level here. We've talked about this for a long time for XRP ETH since this range started. Now, yesterday, we came really close to closing above this local high on the left, which was at 2.007087. We actually got the close at all the zeros 7.5. So we didn't quite manage to get that close. So what's the positives and negatives to this? Well, the positives are, it's quite a strong candle yesterday. It takes us back up to resistance. The negatives are, we didn't get the close above resistance. So I tweeted this morning, the next few days are quite big for XRP, and these are the reasons why. And this is what we're looking for. This is what we want to see more bullish price action. We'd like to see XRP ETH close above that 7.1 level on the daily time frame, and the larger time frames that it closes above there, the better. So if I take us to the 3-day, the 3-day actually closes today. So yes, we are still a little distance away against ETH right now. Percentage-wise, we need to see about a 2.27% outperformance. However, if we then go back to the 1-day just quickly, I could show you that yesterday, how much did we outperform ETH? We outperformed ETH by 7%. So a 2.2% outperformance is not out of the question. Whether we get that today or not, again, I don't know. But that's what I'm saying we're looking for. And on the 3-day, actually, you could say that we actually only need to close above the 0.007057 level because that seems to be where the highs are. So that's something that I'd be watching for today. The other thing that I'm watching is XRP against Bitcoin. Take us down to the daily again, and then we'll go back to the 3-day. XRP against Bitcoin, again, a mixed bag of positives and negatives. The positive is we actually closed above every single candle between here and the 10th of October. So we've taken back like a month of negative price action or consolidation yesterday. Very positive close above those candle closes there. The negative is that we hit the bottom of this resistance level that, if you remember, if you go back to my Twitter from like a while ago, I said this was a key area, this like band between 0.402528 and on the low side 2436 acted as heavy support. Look, it bounced off this area and it went higher, acted as resistance here before we created this line that Craig calls the Gandalf line, but is the bottom of the range against XRP Bitcoin. So we closed above this cluster of consolidation, but we closed below this resistance level. Again, on the 3-day, let's have a look what we're seeing. 3-day also would like to see us close above this white line. The higher the time frame we get the close, the more confident that I am that is a directional change. Again, we're going to have to monitor this box. It's strong resistance and strong support. It's not easy to break through, but that means when you do get the breakthrough, that level, then you can be more confident that, again, the trend is marching towards your direction. Now, going back to the daily time frame again, and we're going to look at XRP dominance. This one's a little bit different. XRP dominance is pretty exciting. We've had a strong daily close and breakout of this descending trend line. Again, closing above that consolidation level and taking back price action all the way until the 7th of October. Last time we had a descending trend line like this and a consolidation, we actually rallied an XRP dominance from the breakout about 36% from the breakout, 36% would take us to like a new high or close to new all-time highs for XRP dominance for this cycle. So there's positives and negatives, is what I'm saying. The next few days are important. The potential of the ETF coming for XRP. Could these things become a catalyst for a move higher? Speculation, hopefully. This is the 3-day now for XRP dominance. Nothing extra really to report there. And I'm just going to go back through XRP, ETH, Bitcoin, and dominance on the weekly now. So going to XRP, ETH on the weekly. Again, we're looking to see the weekly closes in 5 days, 17 hours, so a bit different. If we close here on the weekly, we'd actually be have our highest weekly close since August. So that's another positive, I guess. And one thing I've been highlighting is the bullish cross on the RSI. The bullish cross for the weekly RSI came in down here. The last time, if you can see on my screen, at about like 0.0006. But the last times we got these weekly bullish crosses on the RSI, we did have a significant rally. So the first time we got the weekly bullish cross actually came in about here, and the rally to the top was about 91%. The second time we got that weekly bullish cross was here. Let's say even from the lows, we rallied all the way up about 600%. So even if we just got the 90% close, where would that take us? 90% would take us back to challenge this recent high, and then obviously 600% would take us much, much higher than that. Let's see where 600% would take us. I'm not saying that I expect 600%, but let's see where it would take us. It would take us to new all-time highs versus ETH. Now, as much as I say I'm not expecting that, I do think it's possible, and I do think you see a lot of measured moves in crypto, meaning that once it's done one move, you do see that move repeat, and you can see that move repeat. It's not uncommon. So there's something I'm watching for there. XRP Bitcoin, we haven't yet got the bullish cross on the RSI. Similarly, when we have had these bullish crosses, as you can see, we had one here, we had one here, and we have one here. Every single time it has led again to a significant rally. We haven't yet seen that. An ideal scenario would be we have the weekly push and we close above like that grey box there, which creates the bullish cross. It wouldn't go that high. Which creates the bullish cross, and then we have we've closed above the resistance. We have the bullish cross on the RSI, and we probably shoot up towards this like take profit target 1 area that I've had drawn in. And that take profit target 1 is roughly how much percentage from here? Minimum 161% against Bitcoin, maximum 400 just for this first take profit. So that, even with Bitcoin where it is now, it would be XRP pushing towards the $5 to $6 mark, and then the upside the $10 to $12 mark, just from where we are now, if Bitcoin didn't increase in price. So quite a nice range to be looking at there, and I'll update you as and if we get there. Now, do remember that everything I'm talking about here doesn't mean that I think XRP is going to go up. What I'm telling you is, I hope it does. I personally do think it does, actually. Like, I'm not saying it is going to, but I do think it does go up. But whether that's today or in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, I don't know. These are the things we're looking at for imminent price action to the upside. That's what I'm trying to say. I think hopefully that explains what I'm saying well. On dominance, again, we've had the break of this downtrend, and the bullish cross is so close on the weekly RSI. Similar story. When we got that weekly RSI bullish cross, it did lead to quite a large positive move. Don't need to measure the percentages. Again, you can see for yourself, and you can go and check in the XRP dominance chart if you want to. We'll be looking at quite a positive move to the upside. Let's look at XRP price. I'm going to zoom into the lower time frames here, just so we can have a look at what happened yesterday. I'll take us down to the hourly, positives and negatives again. We obviously had a nice push up to the upside. We did just sweep the highs here, so those stop losses will be taken. So you could argue, okay, we're ranging, we could come down to the lows of the range and sweep the prices below. If we're looking for momentum to continue and push towards the upside, I'm going to get into some things in a second. Like I'm going to show you XRP liquidity, which might lean towards the fact that we do at least have a continuation of this short-term move. What I would say is that we got overbought on the RSI, pulled back, but price hasn't really pulled back too much. Let's see how Bitcoin holds up. Is one of the things that's quite important here. How Bitcoin holds up. Bitcoin's finding itself at the bottom of this like long. Let's go to the daily. I'll show you why this is important. Because Bitcoin obviously dictates a lot of price action in the market. If Bitcoin really starts to pull back from here, it will affect XRP's price, probably. Bitcoin's right at the bottom of the range that we held for, well, ages. Since July, we held this range and then recently broke down from it. We're right testing that now as resistance. I have said that I thought this was the most likely area of reversal. We never quite got there. So we've got to watch out for that as well. Fade Bitcoin dump essentially. ETH is very similar. ETH has been in this ascending wedge pattern or bull flag sort of pattern, or bull pennant, whatever you want to call it. And we're getting towards where we broke down from the upper echelon of this bull flag, so the upper line essentially, and another area of resistance. That's why these few days are so important. XRP price is not dissimilar from that. We hold the bottom of the range. We're getting back up towards these key levels, pushing into resistance areas. Had a nice push yesterday. The next few days are important. Now let's take us down to 15 minute. This is super low time frame stuff, so you can't put too much weight on this. But when we got to these oversold areas on the 15 minutes here, pretty much marked to low. Here, pretty much marked to low. Look, here. Oh wait, sorry. Here, pretty much marked to low, and here. Yes, on these occasions it didn't. This is when the trend was changing, but I would argue the trend is changing back to the upside now. We have hit the oversold area on the 15. Does this mean we can pretty much mark a low and continue higher? That's what I'd be watching for. So they're all my thoughts so far on XRP. Let's go to liquidity. I'm going to just leave this as an XRP video because I think that it's what you need to be watching today and over the next few days. I'll be interested to see how the market reacts when the US opens. Obviously, we're still worried about this downside hourly liquidity on Bitcoin. Going back to XRP though, let's have a little look on the hourly and then the daily just to finish off this video. So we did see a spike up yesterday in open interest, so you could suggest that a lot of this move was leverage based, or at least some of it was leverage based. We don't know for sure whether it was longs or shorts, so let's have a look at what liquidity pools are doing. Now above us, there is liquidity building even just at 257, but the dense liquidity is up here at the 270 sort of level. Again, what I was saying is I'd like to see the daily closes up here at the 270s. We have a slight bit of liquidity building at 205. Always going to happen as people try and take long positions as XRP moves higher. Now if we zoom out to the daily, so I'm looking at this 270, there's dense liquidity is building up there as well. That's the area that I think in the short term we probably get at least a move into this 270 area. Maybe then reverse down. I can't say that for sure we won't, because there is liquidity building there, but it looks likely that we head into this red liquidity at 270, which from here would give us about a 12% move to the upside, potentially up to a 20% move to the upside. If we take us to the daily time frame, if we start to move into these areas 270, hopefully that would give us that would start to close these short positions as we've discussed, which in turn would move us higher, squeeze us higher and squeeze us higher. You can then start to see how these runs turn themselves into quite an aggressive move to the upside. Again, whether we're there yet, I don't know. I think it's going to depend a lot on what the US do when the market opens in the US today. Let's see. It's not perfect and it's not awful. There's positives, there's negatives, but it's nice to see some life coming out of XRP. I hope that that's kind of updated everyone as to what we're looking for next if we're bullish, which I am, and what we could be looking for in the short term. Don't be surprised to see volatility in both ways when we've got market sentiment like we have at the minute. Order books are quite thin compared to what they were before. People are scared. A lot of people out there think we're going to be bearish, so a lot of people will be selling into a retracement as well. What you're going to see though is if we do see price push into these deep areas of liquidity, you could see a short squeeze to the upside, and then it's going to leave a lot of people who have sold already with the decision as to whether they come back into the market or not. And the market is going to have a decision to make whether it continues to be bullish or not. I obviously think we do. A lot of people out there think we don't. Let's see what happens. I'm excited. Am I excited too early? I don't know, time will tell, but I have to come on and share everything that I see with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please do subscribe. Like, a lot of you watch this and don't subscribe. Fair enough, but It literally takes 1 second to hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button as well, helps me out in the algorithm, means I can share this message with more people. Any questions in the comment section below. If you want to trade in any leverage, please check out my links to WeX and MEXC in the description of this video. As always, nothing I say is financial advice, but I hope you did enjoy. Peace up, A-Town Downs, Crypto Insight UK would say.